Yannie the Dreamer presents Tale of Little Tardy Timmy. In the bustling town of Willowbrook, there was a small school where the sun peeked through the windows each morning, casting golden rays upon the desks and chalkboards. However, among the students was a boy named Timmy, known for his perpetual tardiness to class. Every day, Timmy would stumble through the door just as the bell chimed its final note. His teacher, Mrs. Evergreen, would shake her head disapprovingly and scold him gently yet firmly for being late once again. "Timmy, you're late again," Mrs. Evergreen would say with a sigh. "This is becoming a habit." Timmy would sheepishly apologize, promising to do better tomorrow, but the pattern continued. Mrs. Evergreen couldn't understand why Timmy was always behind schedule. Was he simply careless, or did he lack discipline? One sunny morning, Mrs. Evergreen arrived at school earlier than usual. To her surprise, she spotted Timmy wiping the windows in the front of a flower shop. Curious, she approached him. "Timmy, what are you doing here so early?" she asked, her voice tinged with both surprise and concern. Timmy looked up, startled, then quickly composed himself. Good morning, Mrs. Evergreen," he stammered. "I'm just helping out before school." Mrs. Evergreen raised an eyebrow, sensing there was more to the story. Helping out? But why? Timmy hesitated, then decided to confide in his teacher. "My mom, she's not been feeling well lately," he explained. "We're short on money for her medication, so I've been trying to earn a little extra before school." Mrs. Evergreen's heart softened as she listened to Timmy's explanation. Suddenly, his constant tardiness made sense. She realized she had misjudged him all along. "Timmy, I had no idea," Mrs. Evergreen said, her tone gentle now. "You're a good son to your mother." Timmy looked down, his cheeks flushing with embarrassment. "Thank you, Mrs. Evergreen. I'm sorry for always being late to class." From that day forward, Mrs. Evergreen made a point to arrive at school a bit earlier, allowing Timmy to finish his morning chores and arrive on time. She also discreetly arranged for some extra assistance for Timmy's family, ensuring they wouldn't have to struggle to afford his mother's medication. With the burden of financial worry eased, Timmy could focus better in class. He no longer had to rush through his mornings, and his tardiness became a thing of the past. Mrs. Evergreen watched proudly as Timmy blossomed academically and personally, grateful for the lesson he had taught her about compassion and understanding.
If you enjoy the story, please show your support by hitting the subscribe and like buttons. Your support means a lot to us to help us create more inspiring and lesson-filled bedtime stories for you and your children to enjoy. Thank you, and see you on our next story.